Okay, we're ready to reinstall the clutches on the machine. Got all the components installed in the two clutches, and we're going to start out, actually we're going to start with the secondary clutch. Make sure, like I noted earlier, make sure these two shims stayed on the jack shaft. And it'll lift up on the fender. And remember, it's going on a splined shaft, so you might have to try it a few times, turn it back and forth until the splines line up. It'll slide all the way on. Install this retaining bolt. Like I said before, as a rule of thumb, removing things with air tools or impact tools, that's great. Reassembling them, no. Make sure you do it by hand so you don't over tighten anything. There, that one's good. Drive clutch. First step, make sure the inside of the clutch, where the stub shaft goes, is clean, and wipe the stub shaft off too. You need a nice, clean, dry mating surface between those two, because once it's torqued on, you don't want any slip there. On the retaining bolt, none of this should have come apart when you removed it, but just in case, there is a black plastic spacer here, a large washer and a little locking washer, and that's the order that they go together. Get that screwed in by hand. And then we use, like I said before, like a pry bar in there. We're going to torque this retaining bolt to 45 to 47 foot-pounds. All set for that. Good there. Okay, our clutches are on, they're mounted. All we need to do is install the belt. Now, the key to installing the belt correctly, so that you don't damage the belt, is a lot of people will start it over the driven clutch, and they'll just muscle it around. And I'm sure everybody's done it or seen it before. It gets tighter and tighter, and then you've really got to muscle it through there. The reason you don't want to do that is that last portion, as it comes over the edge of the clutch, it's going to cut some of the inner cogs and damage the belt. So we, on the Polaris clutch, now the newer ones actually come with a tool in the tool kit. And I believe they call it a belt removal tool. It's got a kind of a hook shape on one end with a handle, and it allows you to get in here and pry against this the roller housing in the driven clutch, and it'll open the sheaves up so you can drop the belt down in there and you'll have more slack. Again, I think that's on the newer ones. On any with this style of clutch, you can do the same thing with a couple of screwdrivers. I'm going to grab a second one here. If you start on one side, the two surfaces you need to get in between are actually tight against each other. So just use a big screwdriver and pry a little bit. You'll feel it move. You get the other screwdriver in the other side in that opening. Now we can get our big screwdriver in the opening. I've got my hand on top of the belt at the top of the clutch, and as I'm prying and the clutch sheaves are spreading, I'm pressing the belt down in there. And as you work the two together, then you can get the screwdriver in further. There we go. Now I can open it up real wide, and I've got a lot of slack to work the belt around. See how easily that went on. Make sure the machine's in neutral so you can spin the clutch. You don't want to put it together, put the clutch cover back on like this, because the belt is way down in the secondary. Spin that and let the clutch back shift. Our belt tightened up. The belt is riding out as far as it can on the secondary or driven clutch. So we are fully back shifted. We're ready to put the cover on. We're ready to go ride it. Make sure after you've got the cover on, make sure this the vent tube with the rubber boot up here is sealed good. And take it a little easy at first. Everybody makes mistakes. You may have forgotten to tighten something. Somebody may have interrupted you in the middle of it and you forgot to go back and do something. So we of course caution you not to jump on it and hit it full throttle. Take it out for a nice easy ride. Make sure it sounds correct. Your engagement should be up anywhere from 200 to 500 RPM over stock. And you should be all set to go. Thanks for watching. This was our first install video. We're going to be working on some other brands and we'll get them on the website soon.